was staring at Eric Swallowwell, also known as Eric Swallowwell, Bang Bang McFang Fang, or Eric Thoughtwell, because there was a rumor that he once foughted on an interview live. If you look at his face right now, it almost looks like he's holding one in or pinching one out. But he's doing neither. He is asking Pam Bondi a question. Behold.
Through December of 2025, we received messages at my office that said, I hope somebody shoots you and your children and your wife in the head. Pew, pew, motherfucker, pew, pew. I would stay indoors as much as possible, and my children, unfortunately, have to do that. The Department of Justice has not charged this individual and cited that he's a prolific caller and has health conditions, although what we have found in our own investigation and his voicemails is that he has said he will employ others to do this. The president can come after me. It's fine. I'm in the arena. So are these folks. But we never expected that the Department of Justice would not seek to prosecute and investigate those who are making threats against us. And that would include those on that side of the aisle. And I'm just asking for your help to protect life, because life is at risk with the environment we're in right now.
Congressman, I completely agree with you. I know about several of those personally involving you. I believe one has been charged publicly, and there's something I would be happy to talk to you about off camera, but I can assure you that they are very serious. They are being looked into, and I can give you more details on those. None of you should be threatened, ever. None of your children should be threatened. None of your families should be threatened. And I will work with, you can come into my office any day. I will work with all of you on both sides of the aisle if you are ever threatened. And I'll gladly talk to you after this hearing about your cases. But I can tell you some of them are very active.
Now, as you've all heard, the news of the day, or at least the news of yesterday, is that Pam Bondi has been removed of her office, or removed from her office as Attorney General. I'm going to take this out for 1 second before I bring it back in. I do not relish when people get fired. I don't act like a certain unnamed man who acts like a jackass doing victory laps on social media because someone lost their job. Pam Bondi ought to have been fired 6 months ago. With that said, this is not a victory lap. Ha ha, she's lost her position. She really hasn't. They'll push her to another position, give her another title, and the damage is done. Unfortunately, the only question is going to be, can some of it be undone? She's fired. We're going to get into that in 1 second, but there are rumorings, and this is from Colin Rugg, who tends to be pretty reliable. Pam Bondi was fired in part because President Trump believed she had tipped off Eric Swallowwell, according to the Daily Mail. Trump reportedly believes that Bondi had tipped off Swallowwell about the FBI's effort to share investigative documents about his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. Quote, the FBI was preparing a cache of documents on Swallowwell's relationship with Christine Fang, the Daily Mail reports. Quote, she's intervening in those matters. The White House wasn't pleased she was intervening due to her personal friendship with Swallowwell, a source told Daily Mail. I'll echo one thing also. I don't relish in people getting fired, and you should not threaten people. I mean, you don't need to tell normal people that you shouldn't threaten people. It's the sort of thing that goes without saying. You don't need to also condemn public threats, because everybody knows they are terrible, they are awful, they are unlawful. And anybody who says, aren't you going to condemn that, as if it doesn't go without saying, is playing a little bit of shame politics. So Swallowwell is in fact, not even necessarily worth the threats, but people are unhinged, and you don't need to tell people not to break the law. Criminals are going to break the law regardless. That's what makes them criminals. But Pam Bondi is out, and the rumor might be that she had a friendship with Swalwell, might have let him know what was coming down the pipe, and Trump believes that she had some communications with him, and she has now been removed or demoted as Attorney General. Now, skip that rumoring aside, and we can get into the New York Post covering it. The 4 words Trump said to Pam Bondi the day before he fired her as Attorney General. So dramatic, so clickbaity, it gets you to want to read the article and see what it says, which we're going to do right now. And then I'm not taking a victory lap. I'm just going to highlight, some of us have been saying this, not unsubstantiatedly, for damn near 6 months. Fire her. She's doing damage. She's discredited the DOJ. She's disenfranchised and disillusioned people who voted for Trump. She looks like she's terribly corrupt, in bed with Big Pharma, with Pfizer, having been their counsel. She should not have been appointed. She got confirmation. She should have been sacked a long time ago. President Trump told Attorney General Pam Bondi her time in the administration was up while the two rode from the White House to the Supreme Court Wednesday, according to a report. I think it's time. Now, technically, that's 5 words. Bada bing, bada boom. Trump said as he and Bondi made the short ride across the town to take in the oral arguments of a highly contested birthright citizenship case, the Wall Street Journal reported. I covered the oral arguments. We talked about it. Bondi, who was sworn as the Attorney General last February, allegedly asked the 79-year-old commander-in-chief if she could remain at her post until the summer. Trump denied the request, according to the outlet. The two had discussed Bondi's tenure in his administration since the beginning of the year, and Trump seemingly expressed dissatisfaction with the speed she was moving on his agenda, the report stated. My goodness, it's like some of us have been saying that from the get-go. Wait. Oh, you waited too late. Too bad. Statute of limitations. Not one singular issue was the reason behind Bondi's termination, but, quote, a steady drip of frustrations, end quote, including the handling of the Epstein files, lack of positive news coverage directed at the DOJ, sources told the outlet. Despite learning her fate Wednesday, she remained at the White House, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sponsor time! Rumble. Wallet, people. Get the Rumble wallet. You know why people are moving to crypto. It makes you ungovernable. There's a problem with wallets, however. Most still plug into the same system that we're trying to escape in the first place. Wallets, for those of you who don't know, are the digital method of retaining crypto assets. That is why Rumble built Rumble Wallet. It's a self-custodial, that is to say non-custodial, you own it, nobody else owns it wallet that lives inside an ecosystem that actually defends free speech and financial freedom. No bank holding your balance, not even Rumble can touch your assets. You take money, invest it on your own terms, dispose of it on your own terms. If you're already using Bitcoin or stablecoins, Rumble Wallet gives you even more power. Direct fast tipping for content creators right on Rumble without waiting weeks for payouts. On-chain payments in assets like Bitcoin, Tether Gold, USAT, XAUT, which is gold-backed crypto. Most wallets stop at storage. Rumble Wallet connects your money to the marketplace of ideas that refuses to cave to censorship. So if you're serious about sovereignty, financial and digital, this is where you go to protect your assets. Wallet.rumble.com. Search up the Rumble Wallet on the app. I want to show you here. If you wanted to tip Tim, you would go to the tip. You would then go with another crypto wallet, and you can tip Tim with crypto by scanning that QR code. That's how you do it if you already have it. If you don't have it, download it. It's a great asset to have. Cover your assets, people. Back to the vlog. Bondi's ouster was the second major shakeup in Trump's administration after he previously axed Kristi Noem. By the way, if you've been around the channel for a little while, you'll know that both of those people were people that we talked about should be fired for the benefit of the administration. We love Pam. She'll be transitioning to a much needed, important new job in the private sector, yada, yada, yada. Blanche is a possible permanent replacement for his former boss. But Trump also said I'd invite EPA Lee Zeldin, the former lawyer, whatever. You know what the reality is? It's not even clear that Todd Blanche would be a better replacement. I've had my critique of Todd Blanche as well. And between Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi, it's not clear who was more incompetent and more detrimental to the image and the reputation of the DOJ. Do recall, Todd Blanche came out and I respectfully highlighted the problems with what Todd Blanche was saying as relates to the Epstein disclosures. He came out with that email justifying that memo, the unsigned memo, saying that everyone signed off on it, even though nobody signed off on it, including Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. And somehow that memo saying that Epstein killed himself, there's nothing more to see here, was leaked to Axios, unsigned, and it put the DOJ, or at least the FBI, in a position where they couldn't undermine that memo without contradicting the DOJ and Todd Blanche. So I'm not sure that Todd Blanche would be any better. But at this point, we're in a world where any change will at least maybe be a stimulation for some form of change of direction, reinvigoration. There's the old experiment, like the changing light bulb theory. And when you go and you change the workers' light bulbs and make them brighter, the workers become more efficient. And they found that even when you went in and changed the light bulbs and made them less glowing, dimmer, even when you went in and made a change that was for the worse, the employees still performed better because they at least felt that someone was taking care of them and paying attention to them. Firing Pam Bondi will at least let the base know, or at least think, that Trump listened, finally, maybe a little bit too late, to the righteous critique of the administration, or the righteous critique of some of the biggest supporters of the administration. I want to just refresh everyone's memory as to a couple of my tweets on the subject. This is not the right tweet. And they go back to July, give or take. And some of the critique was on point and aged quite well. July 12, 2025, Viva Fry at the Viva Fry. For those who are not aware, Bondi's DOJ continued the Biden-era persecution of Douglas Mackey, Ricky Vaughn. Free speech persecuted for a meme. Bondi's DOJ is continuing the Biden-era persecution of Roger Ver, Bitcoin Jesus. Bondi's DOJ has seemingly been unaware of multiple important Second Amendment cases going before the Supreme Court, even setting aside the debacle, the Epstein debacle itself. For these reasons alone, she deserves to be fired. That's July 12, 2025. What's happened since then? Continued bungling of the Epstein disclosures to the point where it looks deliberate and like sabotage. To the point where now, however you feel about the war in Iran, had the Epstein disclosures been done properly and not looked like it was a corrupt cover-up or sabotage, had they been done properly, nobody would be referring to the Iran war, in as much as they disagree with it, as the Epstein war, period. That bungling of an Epstein debacle on its own deserved a firing. All the other reasons that I listed as well. Not going after Pfizer, not reinstating Brooke Jackson's Key Tam lawsuit against Pfizer, because Pam Bondi was Pfizer's counsel in 2021. So some of these tweets have aged well. Some of the commentary, some of the critique has aged well, and other critique, or at least other support or critique of those critiquing, has not aged well. Bondi's out. If it's Todd Blanche who replaces her, I don't know that that's going to be any better, but at this point, any change at least lets people think, even if it's not true, that the Trump administration finally heard and is finally acting on some of the critique of some of its most loyal supporters of the last decade. So with that said, Bondi is out, or at least she seems to be out. I believe the only question is whether or not there's going to be some issues on the market in terms of her not being officially out for the payouts on the markets, but all those markets hit 90+% yesterday. Pam Bondi has been fired, repositioned, whatever, and now Kash Patel's stock has also gone up to 60 some odd percent, that he too will be out by the summer. That's that, at least on that particular issue.